If we look back at the note card that we made for graphing linear inequalities, we're going to use the same steps to graph and solve systems of linear inequalities. So the first thing that I see is, and I'm going to get out a new note card, so you get out a new note card while I get out a new note card. And I see that these inequalities that are here, so this is solving systems of linear inequalities by graphing, and we will see that these inequalities look like y equals mx plus b. So we will start by beginning with by intercept, and this is for the first inequality. And so I see that the first y-intercept is -1, y-intercept is 0, -1, and I plot 0, -1. And then the second step is to move with the slope. And so we see that it's -4, and -4 as a fraction is -4 over 1, and this is the change in y over the change in x, which means I will go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and +1 unit to the right to connect the dots. And I do the same thing in the opposite direction to get another point that I will connect by the inequality symbol. And those are, and I see mine is greater than, so I've got greater than or equal to. We could also have less than or equal to, or less than. And this one is less than or equal to, so if it has a solid line, then it gets a solid line on the graph. It gets a solid line on the graph. I connect it with a solid line that will continue in both directions, and it is greater than, so we will shade above. We will shade above our line. We will shade above our line because we are looking at a greater than. This is above, as opposed to a less than, which would be below. These are both greater than, except the next one is less than, or is not equal to, right? So our last step would be to repeat with the second inequality, and that would be y is greater than -x plus 2, so we've got, let's do this in a different color, we've got +2 is our y-intercept of 0 and 2, so 0 and 2, and then I have a -1 here, so that's going to be -1 over 1. That's the change in y over the change in x, which is also rise over run. So we rise 1 in the negative direction, we run in the positive x direction, we make a point. We can make points all the way down. to get a nice dashed line, because our inequality doesn't have a solid line, so we can't give it a solid line on the graph. And we see that it's greater than, which means we're going to shade above this one too. And it's the darkest where these two intersect. So the solution to this is all of the points that are inside of this shaded area on this small part of the magenta line, but not on the dashed line. Our solutions cannot be here. Solutions cannot be here. And answer Y right down beneath. And then use your note card and what we've done before to graph the other systems of linear inequalities and identifying the set of solutions.